Welcome to the second part of Section 5.5, Standard Form. Let's warm up with a review of horizontal and vertical lines. Underline the correct word to complete each sentence. Line Z is either horizontal or vertical. Line P is horizontal or vertical. A slope with 0 is horizontal or vertical. And an undefined slope is horizontal or vertical. Well, Z is a vertical line. P is a horizontal line. If you have a slope of 0, it's horizontal. And if you're undefined, it's vertical. So, graphs of horizontal and vertical lines. If you have y equals some number, that's going to be a horizontal line going through the number that it's equal to on the y-axis. If you have an x equals equation, that's going to be a vertical line. So for example, if I have x equals 3, I'm going to come over to 3 on my x-axis and draw a straight line up and down. If I have y equals 3, I'm going to go up 3 on my y-axis and draw a line straight across going through it, and that gives me a horizontal line. So, let's take a look here. X equals 4, y equals 1, x equals a negative 1, and y equals 0. You need to figure out if those are horizontal or vertical lines. Well, it's x equals, so it's vertical. It's y equals for number 2, so it's horizontal. It's x equals 4, the third one, so it's vertical, and it's y equals for the last one, so it's horizontal. So let's take a look at graphing these. If we have x equals 4, that means that for any value of y, the value of x is going to be 4, and therefore this would be a vertical line. So we would find 4 on our x-axis and draw our line straight up and down. Y equals a negative 3. We're going to find negative 3 on our y-axis, and we're going to draw a line straight through it. So that's going to be a horizontal line. X equals negative 6. We're going to find negative 6 on the x-axis, and we're going to draw a line straight through it. So that's a vertical line. And finally, y equals 6. We're going to find 6 on the y-axis and draw a line through it. Let's take a look at whether each equation is in slope-intercept form, point-slope form, or standard form. And then we're going to draw a line from each equation in column A to the form of the equation in column B. So the first one here is in point-slope form. The second one's in slope-intercept. The third one's in point-slope form. And the last one here is in standard form. Matching them, y plus 5 equals negative quantity x minus 2 is in point-slope form. Y equals negative 2x plus 5 is in slope-intercept form. Y minus 10 equals negative 2, quantity x minus 1 is in point-slope form. And finally, 2x plus 4y equals 12 is in standard form. It's important to be able to identify each different type. Now, what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be transforming equations from either point-slope or slope-intercept to standard form. So, when we do this, we have to make sure that these three things are true. There are no fractions, there are no decimals, and our a in ax plus by equals c cannot be negative. So, let's take a look at an example. We want to take this equation and transform it from point-slope form to standard form. So what's our first step going to be? If we want to get this into ax plus by equals c, we don't want to solve for y, and we don't want to add x to both sides. That's not going to be our first step, at least. What we do want to do is multiply both sides by a negative 3, or we could distribute the negative 1/3. So let's take a look. I like to distribute. You could have multiplied both sides by the negative 3 and gotten rid of the fraction, but I like to distribute all the time. So I would have had, I don't know where this 3 came from, that should have been a 2. That should have been a 2 here, and here, and here, and that would give us a 0 here, and here. Oops. And there. There we go. That one's all fixed. So, we have y minus 2 equals negative 1/3 quantity x plus 6. I distribute first. So when I distribute here, I end up with y minus 2 equals a negative 1/3 x minus 2. I add 1/3 x to both sides, so now I have 1/3 x plus y minus 2 equals negative 2. So I'm almost to my standard form. I've got my x first, my y second. I got to get rid of this number here, so I add 2 to both sides. Now I have 1/3 x plus y equals 0, which is almost in standard form, but remember our 3 rules. No fractions, no decimals, and a has to be positive. Well, I've got a fraction. So to clear this fraction, I'm going to go ahead and multiply everything by 3. So again, multiplying everything by 3. 3 times 1/3, 3 times 1, and 3 times 0. So 1/3 of 3 is 1, 3 times 1 is 3, and 0 times 3 is 0. So x plus 3y equals 0 is standard form. Let's take a look at this one. Again, I like to distribute first. So I'm going to take this negative, I'm going to distribute it to both of my numbers. So I have negative x plus 2. I got to get x over here with y, so I have x plus y plus 5 equals 2. Now I got to get rid of this number, so negative 5 minus 5 on both sides, so I have x plus y equals a negative 3. Let's go from slope-intercept form to standard form. This time, all I have to do is add 2x to both sides, and I'm already to standard form. Let's take a look at this one. I got to distribute, so my negative 2 gets distributed, so y minus 10 equals negative 2x plus 2. Add the 2x to both sides, so 2x plus y equals minus 10 equals 2. Add 10 to both sides, so 2x plus y equals 12. Take a look at your homework assignment on page 324, numbers 23 to 36.